we should have this image cut out or whatever image you chose, whether it's a dancer, football player, athlete, musician. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to add in the layer with the thing that they're going to be breaking out of. So for this one, I'm probably going to use a cell phone, something simple. All right, so there's the PNG of my cell phone. I'm just going to make it a little bit smaller, maybe like this small right here. And I think I'm going to have it more like right here or something. Yeah, so it'll feel like his legs and everything are coming out of it. So that's kind of like the beginning of it. The next step that I want to do is I want to start to add in my mask or return my mask. Before I do that, I want to label things, phone, just so I know what layer is what. And I already have the dancer set up there. So you can drag the dancer above the phone, and that kind of does what we needed to do. And what we're going to do next is we're going to go over to the scissors. You could use the shape mask. You could use the magic mask, the draw mask. There's so many different ones. The one that I would recommend, though, is using the draw mask. With this, you can be very specific, meaning that you can zoom in and be sure to have add to mask. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be adding back in the background. So that this image is kind of like exactly the way that we want it to be. I'm going to zoom out a little bit just so we can see more. And right now it looks like it's overlapping a little, so that's okay. We can clean that up after. I have like a really good technique to do that. One other way that you could approach this too is using this, you can get very specific with the edges, but you could also zoom out and just use the shape mask. And with the shape mask, I can just click rectangle right here. And this probably won't get it perfectly, but it'll get it pretty close. So I'm just gonna zoom out and then drag it. And then I can just let go like that. And I have like instantly my mask right there. So it's a little bit less destructive than cutting things out. What I can do next is go back with my drawing mask brush and just add in extra details if I want to. We can also use the same technique to clean up the edges. So if you wanted to like get rid of some of the mask, we can just use that shape tool and do the same thing. So right there, I'm adding it in, but what if I want to get rid of it? I'm just going to go to where it says remove. And then I'm just going to pull it out like this. And then I'm just like little by little, like pulling out and adding in things that I want to keep into the composition, my whole design. And right here, it's a little like getting a little fuzzy down there. So I think I'm going to zoom in and I'm going to use, this time I'm going to use the lasso. With the lasso, you just click it and you make like pretty much like a lasso around what you want to get rid of or keep. And you can very easily carve things out this way too. And this works like really well. You can do a lot of cool things with this. And there it is. I'm very quickly and easily removing my mask, and I have my awesome kind of design all set up already. One last thing that I'm going to do is just use this, and I'm just going to add back in part of my mask. It looks like there's a thin line right here, and I just want to make it nice and crispy so that the picture looks good. I think that might have been a little bit too much. And I can always zoom in just to see. And there we have it. You kind of have like this drawing mask all set up and ready to go. Now you can also play with this to add like a different level of realism, meaning that if I wanted to add like some more effects in the background, I can totally do that. So I can duplicate the layer. I can add maybe like a filter over it. And just so I can see, I'm going to turn off my bottom layer and I'm going to go to filter. And I'm going to add maybe a blur effect. So with the blur, I'm just going to grab this and tilt a little bit. And little by little, I'll kind of see it start to blur out. You can click right here to see the difference of what it looks like when it's not blurred and compare. And then I'm going to turn on this dancer. What I can do here now is I can use the remove tool from my mask. And when I remove, Let me show I'm on the right thing here. It's going to start to blur out some of like the actual background so it can feel like this image is like maybe in motion. Maybe this is too hard of a blur, but I think you guys got to get the idea with this. So maybe this dancer is way more in focus. You can also blur parts of his body too if you wanted to. So let's say if I wanted to add a blur to the hands, I could do that. Maybe I can even do like some type of like blur in a direction so it could feel like it's going in a direction. But use the blur tool sparingly, not too much. But that's the beginning right there of Lift.